respect and admire and love, and some we work with and some we don't. So we're just going to get ourselves set up. Yep.
Here we go.
Hello, hello,
Hello.
my friend.
Hello, hello. And we are also live on Facebook.
Oh, excellent. Hello, Facebook
Hi,
world.
Facebook world. I'm here with my Decide to Be, or Excellence is a Decision mug, Luann's mug,
Very nice.
my morning cup of coffee.
Okay, send request. Then I'm allowing the request. Again, the shenanigans of this. I got my cup of coffee here too. Mine happens to be blank, but equally delicious.
Now, let
Mm,
me ask you a question. I don't think I've ever asked you this. How do you take your
sure.
coffee?
Oh, I take it super sweet.
Oh, really?
I do.
That's
I
a
do.
surprise to me.
Is it? Yeah, I know, right?
Yes.
Because I love exercising and I eat pretty healthy, but I put stevia in it and I put hazelnut creamer in it as well.
Oh, whoa. Okay. I'm very boring. I like my coffee black.
Are you? Wow, wow. Yeah, I don't think I can. It's like not quite. I'm not quite there yet. That's how my husband drinks it, and I have not graduated to. It's like, when you start drinking wine, you start with something really, really sweet, and then
Mhm.
over time you graduate to like
Yeah.
some
Then you
real
get to a hefty red.
that's where I am right
Yeah.
now. With my
Okay.
wine, I'm on the hefty red.
Good. All right. We'll get you on the coffee. We'll get you on the coffee. Anyway, everyone, thank you so much for joining us. Today's episode number 68. If you're just joining us now, and it is our monthly designer feature. So take it away, Vita.
Yeah, we're excited to be here, you guys. For anybody new joining us, Kim and I hang out here every Friday at 9 a.m. We call it Window Treatment Friday Live, or we lovingly refer to it at WTF, because if any of you have ever done any window treatments, you have definitely had those WTF moments.
Yes, absolutely.
So, and every week we have a different topic, and today is one of our favorite topics, rather, and that is designer feature. So, Kim, actually, you're up.
Okay. So one of the designers that I wanted to feature today is Rebecca Penno from Penno Interiors. She is based out of McLean, Virginia. Fun fact, Rebecca and I actually are alumni from the same university. We both are
Oh, how
graduates
cool.
from Marymount University down in Arlington, Virginia. And we were, Rebecca was a grade above mine. So I know her just from being around in studio. It was a really small school. So you really got to know everyone that was in your program, not only in your grade, but in the upper grades. So it's been really cool to see, Rebecca grow as an interior designer, so to speak, from the time we graduated, because around the time that we graduated was around the recession.
Mm,
So
lovely, lovely
yes,
time.
yes.
My
So
husband graduated around recession too, so that was very interesting looking for a job back then.
yeah, so it's a testament to Rebecca that she's still stuck with it, because a lot of our colleagues and classmates aren't in the interior design world anymore. They've moved
Mm,
on to other jobs, marketing, teaching, etc. So it was, we actually reconnected on Instagram a couple years ago when Luann gave me a shout out on her Instagram. She tagged me, posted a picture of me on my birthday. And
nice.
Rebecca had made a comment like, is this the same Kimberly Seraphim that went to school in Marymount? And I'm looking at Instagram, I'm like, oh
Like,
my goodness.
wow.
So it's really great to
Fun.
and I follow Rebecca now on Instagram. I've been following her for years. And the one thing that I love about Rebecca's design is that she always incorporates window treatments into her design. So it's, as someone who does window treatments, it's so hard when you see all these lovely interiors and then
Mhm.
it's like the windows are naked.
I know, I
So
agree.
one of the projects that I actually wanted to feature, so I'm going to encourage everyone to go to Rebecca's Instagram handle. So it's at Penno Interiors is their handle on Instagram. And if you go to their highlights reel and click on the window treatment highlight,
Oh, cool.
that's one of the projects that I wanted to feature. She didn't have a photograph of it. This one is still just as great and it has just as much detail, but it's just the layers and it's a really cool project. So when we're done here, everyone go check it out there. But this project that I wanted to feature, because we all know that I'm a geek when it comes to drapery hardware, is it's a curved wall that it's kind of hard to tell, but then the rod then returns
Mhm.
to the straight on the straight
Yep,
wall
I can
that's
tell.
adjoining. Yeah, so I thought that was really unique and really great because oftentimes we just wonder like, oh, should we just put a panel at the end? And we kind of
Mhm.
ignore the
That wall
walls,
space on the
that wall
side.
space out on the side, which is usually just dead space, really.
Mhm.
So I love the fact that she kind of connected the two. I don't know what's going on the other side. I can only imagine that it's the exact same on the other
Mhm.
side. And then she has lovely woven woods mounted inside the window frames, probably for privacy and whatnot. But Rebecca's use of pattern and texture and really going for it is something that I really respect. And I really love her use of window treatments. She does a lot of things with. It was kind of actually really hard to pick which one I
Mm.
wanted to feature,
Yeah.
which was really great. She does a lot with trim
Mhm.
and a lot with color blocking and things like that. So definitely, if you ever need window treatment inspiration and you're just feeling like what are other designers doing out there, please head on over to her
Nice.
Instagram and take a look.
And tell us, Kim, where can we find hardware like this? You may not know exactly where she sourced this one, but I
Um,
know you being such an expert in
yes.
hardware.
So Helzer Brothers could do something like this. I believe I know. I think I'm doing a curved rod right now with select metals. So
Mhm.
they're all. It all depends on really how big the curve is going to be,
Yep.
and whatnot. So
Yeah.
yeah,
We also use Ona Drapery too.
yes,
That's another resource for you guys.
yes. Oh, and Luann is on Facebook saying
Morgan, look at Luann.
Morgic. Hey Lou, good morning. Hi, look what I'm enjoying my coffee with today.
Aw, isn't that nice? Thank you, Luann, for joining us. For as busy as she is, she
Yeah.
finds time to join us here. Thank you, thank you. All right. So, my next designer firm is Melissa and Miller Interiors. And full disclosure, we here at Vitalia Inc., we don't do any business with them currently. We don't do their window treatments, but it is the firm that I have been admiring from afar for some time. And one of the reasons that I have been admiring them is because how unique they are and how diverse they are. And what I mean by that is that they have projects all over the world. And
Mm.
actually, if you go on their website, it is one of the first things that they tout about themselves. That is that they're based out of, they can do projects and have done projects in London, and then all over the United States. And then they recently just landed a project in Dubai. So, I mean,
Oh.
how cool is that? So to have that kind of diverse ability to do your craft in different countries. I mean, if you shipped me to London, to England, I don't think I would know what to do with window treatments there. Maybe I'll find my way, but to be
You'd
a
figure
real
it
pro
out.
at it in a
Yeah.
different country, I think takes a real skill and experience. So just
Mhm.
right there and then, I really respect them for that. And they also, another thing about their diversity is that they have a really quite variety of projects. So they have done a huge penthouse in New York City. They have done huge residential, just like your regular, not regular. I mean, when they're huge like that, when they're 7,000, 10,000, they're not quite regular. But what I mean is like, it's like a residential house,
Mhm.
in LA, on both coasts, actually. They have done a huge yachts, so that's real interesting. I don't know. I would actually, I've done one yacht. I've done one
Okay, cool.
project window treatments for a yacht. So that was really cool. They've also done restaurants too. So the diversity and the breadth of their work and portfolio and the ability to satisfy different customers is very unique. I find it very interesting. And that's sort of another reason why I really respect and admire them. Um, it's interesting, they both went to an interior design school in London. That's where they met and kind of forged a relationship. They both actually worked for very well known and established interior design firms to hone their skill there. And then about 15 years ago, they got together and said, hey, let's do this thing on our own. Let's see what we can bring to the table. And by then, they could bring quite a bit. So they really kind of forged their forces to do this together. Um,
Nice.
the one other tidbit, actually, Melissa did contact us, Vitalia Inc., for a special project for an awning, actually, at a restaurant.
Oh,
Yep, yep, we worked with JC on it. Um,
nice.
we went back and forth for quite some time. It ended up being that the project didn't quite materialize, at least not this year. But in the process, I got to know Melissa a little bit in terms of how she works, what her work ethic is, how she structures her questions and specs. And I walked away really impressed with how organized she was, how meticulous, how detail oriented, and also how much respect she had for the trades.
Nice.
I think, Kim, you would agree a lot of times we do talk about the fact that we really respect and admire, again, and really appreciate and love working ultimately with those interior designers that appreciate what it is that we do, right? So, us
Mhm.
being in the window treatment world, we're one of their trades, just like, say, a carpenter, an electrician, or a flooring guy, or wallpaper guy, all the resources that make an interior design project possible, window treatments being one of them. And in working, the process of working with Melissa during the estimating stage for this awning, even though it didn't go forward, but I've always felt appreciated and respected in the process.
Yeah.
And that was really great. So the project that I want to show off today
Oh,
is this
sweet.
absolute adorable, right? I mean, when you see
Mhm.
something like this, it's like it's a total scroll stopper, right?
The giant giraffe, I mean.
I mean, if the giant giraffe doesn't stop you in your scroll, I don't know what will. Okay.
Exactly.
So this was a really interesting project for them because this client has always kind of admired giraffes as a toy when she was a kid. And actually, she specifically loved this giant giraffe, but I guess she didn't have it when she was little, and as she grew, and ultimately when she had her grandkids, she was able to acquire one, to purchase it, to have it, and then she designed this, or she wanted this whole room designed in sort of this giraffe theme and around this big giant giraffe, which is exactly what this firm did. So it's totally adorable. I mean, it's almost like I can't even talk about the window treatments and the color combinations. There's so much to unpack here, but all I see is this giant giraffe and how adorable and wonderful and joyful. It just brings a smile to your face as soon as you see it. I think they've done an amazing job paying homage to what this client really wanted. So amazing job, you ladies. So you guys, please follow them on Melissa and Miller.com, and as well as on Instagram at Melissa and Miller.
Perfect. Quick question. It's hard to tell in the photographs, but are those Roman shades or woven woods?
They're Roman shades,
Yeah.
actually. So they're Roman shades, and they're small cornices up above the Roman shades. So what I mean by small is usually our cornice is anywhere between 15 to 22 inches, with
Mm-hmm.
18 inches being kind of like that sweet spot.
Yeah.
This is probably about maybe 10 inches or so. So they really used it kind of as a topper to the Roman shade. And the Roman shade and the cornice is done in the same fabric. The cornice is outside mounted on the window.
Mm-hmm.
The Roman shade is inside mounted. It's clearly lined in a blackout lining because I'm not
Yeah.
seeing any
No.
light come through because it's clearly for for a small kid. So again, just really terrific job by these ladies.
Yes, no, and that's a good example too. Sometimes I know I have some clients that worry, what is it going to look like if doing the cornice on the outside as an outside mount and a Roman shade as an inside mount? Is it going to look strange? Has seeing the molding, especially when it's done in the same fabric. So this is a really good example of that, of being okay with putting the Roman shade inside and having the cornice on the outside.
Oh, 100%. I
Yeah.
love this look. I mean,
Hmm.
it's, obviously everything is a personal preference, but for me, I absolutely love this look. I think it really finishes off the Roman shade. Roman shades are usually mounted on the inside if the window depth allows.
Right.
But even with that, you can have a valance up above the Roman shade. But I think when you can have a cornice, something a little bit more tailored and
Hmm.
structured, and go on the outside of the window, it just adds that additional oomph to the whole
Yes.
window. I personally think it looks terrific.
Right. Okay, so this next designer that I wanted to feature is Erin Gates of Erin Gates Design. I have been a fan of Erin's for a very long time. She's actually one of the first designers that I started following on Instagram. Um,
Nice.
yes, her Instagram is Element Style. She started off with her blog, and that's really kind of like when the blogging world exploded up in 2007. That's how
Mhm.
I really found her, was through the blog. And then when Instagram started, that whole thing, then I found her on Instagram and whatnot. So she is based out of Boston, Massachusetts,
Nice.
and
Which is
yeah,
where you're heading this weekend?
which was with an inspiration for me
Oh,
to
nice.
select her. I was like, oh, I know a Boston interior designer, Erin. I can't believe I haven't featured her yet.
Nice, and I didn't tell you before we got on the live, but I'm actually heading up to Boston the following weekend, also for a
Oh,
weekend getaway. I know,
that's
so
so
you're gonna have to tell me
funny.
everything that you did, and then
Yes.
on Monday, we actually do have a project up in Boston, so on Monday, I'm gonna site visit and measure and all that, but I'm combining it with a little bit of a
Yes, a little
self-care, me
work
time,
play.
work
Yes.
play with the hubby, yeah, mhm.
So, Erin, back in 2014, she actually came out with a book, which I also have again because I'm a fan. So, her book
Oh,
is
nice.
Element of Style. Now, a lot of times you probably recognize this book because of the spine. It has the striped spine, which I thought was so
Oh,
cool and so
cool.
unique because, especially like it sits on my media stand under my television. So, you really see the detail of this, and that's what I love about Erin's designs is that she's really detailed. She thinks about little things, and to think about like the spine of the book, especially if it's a coffee table book, you could identify this book anywhere. When I see people post little vignettes, I've seen it used on TV and for styling and things like that, I'm like, oh, there's Element of Style, there's the
Oh,
book, there's
cool.
Erin's book. So it's a really great book. It has a lot of design inspiration. She also has a accessory line that you could buy in stores, pillows and whatnot. And the
Wow.
project that I chose to feature, again, is a curved window treatment because we all know that I love me some curved hardware. And with this one, not only it's a curved French return rod, which I think is also very unique. So, and this one is 3 panels on rods with rings, and Erin just chose to pop trim on the lead edge of
Mhm.
the two panels on the ends, and then the panel in the center. So it looks like these could potentially move based on how many pleats there are and whatnot. That these potentially could be operational drapes, but a lot of times sometimes even like with Sandra Funk from House of Funk, we often make the panels with the ability to move, even though they're
They're
meant to
meant
be
to be stationary.
stationary, just to kind of give it that beefiness and that look.
Yep.
So yeah, I love how she mixes traditional with a little bit more transitional. It's not very
Mhm.
super contemporary modern. So she has a lot of old world elements with new. And right now she's actually renovating her home up in the Boston area. So if you go on Instagram, you can follow that whole process, which has been really cool to see how she picks her paint color for the exterior of her home. That's what she's doing right now, down to her fabric selections and even on all her projects. So she's definitely been
Nice.
one that I have really enjoyed following for like the last 10 years or so, however long I've had Instagram.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm. Right. Wow, 10 years. Holy moly. I think
Yeah.
I've had it for maybe 3. You're, like, way ahead of me on the whole
Real, yeah,
Instagram
no,
thing, yeah.
I've seen the whole I got it when it started.
The
I
whole
cause,
progression.
yeah, because
Good job.
again, a blogger had it and I was like, what is this app? What's going on here? So
What's happening? What I really like about this space is in addition to window treatments and everything that you mentioned, I love the scale of her pillows.
yeah.
I love me some big pillows. I do, because if you decide to do a pillow on the sofa, like, don't go for the teeny tiny little thing, that it's
Hmm.
not quite sure what it's doing there. Did it get lost? Did it
Yeah.
wander up on the sofa by accident, by mistake? I mean, I feel like it needs to make an oomph and a statement.
Yeah. And
And that's
then
exactly what she did. Those oversized pillows, almost larger than the back of the sofa. It's substantial.
right. And her actual, again, use of trim. We all know
And then
here,
there's that trim.
yeah, if you're new to watching WTF Live, Vita and I always love an embellishment. We love a trim. We love color blocking. So we get really excited when we see
Oh,
it.
yes, we do. We're such window treatment geeks, aren't we? And everything that comes with it, right? Trim,
Yeah.
hardware, pillows, oversized,
Oh,
outside mount, inside
a
mount.
big plea, everything.
The
Seriously.
whole thing, exactly. And actually, that we'll do a little sort of a 5-second break here to let anybody who has just joined us to let you know that this is a window treatment live presentation. This is
Mhm.
what Kim and I do here every Friday at 9 a.m. Eastern. So grab your coffee. Kim and I have ours, and join us for about 20-30 minutes every Friday as we geek out on all things window treatments.
Yes.
All right. Jenny, you know Jenny, you recognize Jenny
Yes.
Singerland. So
Yes,
she
yes,
is the
yes.
designer who I can't believe we haven't featured her yet, or at least I haven't. Have
I
you?
was I was about to say, actually, I have when
Oh
we
my
were
God, I forgot.
doing the because she was part of Luann Live this year. So when we
Yeah,
I
that's
featured a
right.
couple of designers from Luann Live, but that's okay. Jenny has fabulous projects, and
She has fabulous
why
projects.
not
That's right.
feature her twice?
That's right. So, I've gotten to know Jenny a little bit from 2 years ago at the High Point Market,
Yes.
the last I think market that we all went to. Kind of
2019?
was it
Yeah.
2019? Yeah. And then I
Forever.
got to know her a little bit more because Jenny and I shared the same business coach, and that was
Nice.
Amber De La Garza. So we both coached separately, but we both coached with Amber. So we were, as we were kind of getting off our coaching calls, or we both appeared on Amber's podcast, we would exchange boxers and kind of, support each other and
Mhm.
share our experiences and kind of cheer each other on. So that was really sweet. I had like a real connection to Jenny there. And then another connection that Jenny and I have is that we are both instructors for Luen University. So there's
Yes.
that. Yes, exactly. So Jenny teaches design. Oh my gosh, what's the name of the course? It's escaping me. Luann, if you're still there, please.
Hold
It's
on
like it's like a design to build, like design build type of
one
course.
moment,
Design build
please.
101. Yep. Um,
Gonna look it up.
where thanks, Kim. So she honed in her skill before she started her own business. She honed in her skill as part of a construction firm, where she used her design expertise to help that construction firm and the builder to really understand, appreciate, and use a lot of the design techniques in the way they were constructing and building their projects. So 15 years ago, she also, just like my previous firm, they decided, these beautiful and smart and amazing ladies decided to go on their own and start their own firm. And that's what Jenny did about 15 years ago by starting Black Ink Interiors. And so she is using everything that she has learned in this construction and building industry, as well as her own interior design experience. And that's what she applies to all of her projects now and teaches it for Luann University.
Okay, so I have it right here. She is teaching design for construction
Design
101, and
Design for construction.
it is kicking off October 28th.
That's
So
right.
if
That's
you haven't signed up and you want to get construction 101 from Jenny, which she is fabulous, I suggest signing up.
right. A lot of interior designers want to work with builders. So that's what Jenny teaches,
Mhm.
um, how to really become a true, a valuable or invaluable, for that matter, partner to the builder, where the builder really sees how working with an interior designer makes, instead of it being a kind of a distraction, that builder sees that working together makes for a really good, fruitful, and productive
Yeah.
partnership. And she teaches these designers how to really how to put together these specs and how to um, become that invaluable partner, essentially. So there's a whole 6 modules on that, just like for any course at Luann University. We all have 6 modules that we teach. Yours truly as well is teaching a course there, also starting on October 28th. So, and Luann said, yes, looking forward to seeing you in October.
Yes.
Yeah. So, and yet another thing that Jenny and I have in common is that they're already, I think Black Ink Interiors does a nice job with window treatments,
Yes.
but last year they decided to really elevate their game. And her husband, who is also in the business, decided to join the class that I was teaching for Luann
Woo!
University in the spring. We call it How to Scale Your Window Treatment Business to Your First $1 Million Year. So
Nice.
Ben, who is kind of like in charge of her business side and the operation side, he joined us every week and um, was really taking a lot of notes and just getting a lot out of everything that I was teaching on how to systematize a window treatment business, how to set processes in place, how to do the proper project management, how to do like all those estimates and purchase orders and production orders. So everything that we do in our window treatment businesses and how detailed everything needs to be. So he took it all kind of and try to learn it to see how they can appropriate it and really build it as a bigger part of Black Ink Interiors. So super creative team. Um,
Not the picture I
just
picked, so we're good.
several. Oh, good. Is that what you're like sitting on the edge of
I
your
was,
seat? I should pick the
I
same
think I
picture.
picked I picked a really cool laundry room.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, my mind is like, I can't remember who I featured. I have to ask Stephanie. I'm like, didn't we feature her already?
I know it's there's so many fab, and then there's a lot that I'm like, wait, no, I think Vita did that one. Like I go back and I look at
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah. Yeah. And let's just decide that that's okay. And if we
It's
feel
fun.
that inspired and that compelled to feature that person, and if it becomes again, then that's what it is.
Double star for that designer.
Exactly, exactly. So here's a master bedroom. I actually have two pictures of that. So here's a more of a close up of this. So this was actually a curved window. So we seem to have a
Theme.
unspoken, yes, we didn't know, on a theme on curved windows. Here she used a like a Kirsch traverse rod, or what looks like a Kirsch. It's
Mhm.
white. I see the brackets, and just like your first designer, Kim, she stacked those panels on the flat part of the wall, not on the curved part of the window.
Mhm.
And my guess is, what I'm surmising is, she didn't want to block any part of the light and of that window. That's why she had all the stack on the side on the wall, and so they can still traverse. I can tell that they're full enough, and I can tell that that's a traverse rod. And being that it's a bedroom, that's how they get their privacy, or they stack it off to get the full ability to see the light. And I'm sure there's some kind of gorgeous view. Jenny and her team are in Arizona, so those views are incredible. So I'm sure there's something amazing happening beyond those
Yes.
windows. So please follow these guys at blackinkinteriors.com, as well as Black Ink Interiors on Instagram. They're an amazing team. They do gorgeous work. Their portfolio is quite extensive. A lot of architectural elements, like I said before, the design to construction. You can see how she parlays and bridges together design and the construction and the architecture. So incredibly talented team there.
Nicely done, Jenny and team. Okay. The last designer that I am choosing to feature this week is Dana Hunkley from Plum Interiors. Dana is based out of New Jersey, and we actually do her work. And I've loved working with Dana as her business has been growing and how she's been getting more in expanding her portfolio in terms of doing just not going in and doing in multiple rooms and adding different layers of window treatments and things like that. So it's been really great to just see where she started and how far she's come in the last maybe 2.5, 3 years. She's working on a project right now in Chatham where the befores and after are amazing. This is not the project that I'm going to feature, but just I always get excited when we have an appointment with Dana just because of the fact she comes with her tray and all her fabrics laid out, and she presents them to me the way that she would present them to the client.
Mm,
And
nice.
it's just really nice to kind of get like an overall vision of what the project is going to be. And she'll say, okay, Kim, this is the trim, and this is what I'm thinking of doing on the pillows here, and this is what we're doing on the sofa, and this is what we're doing here. And do we think that like this pattern is going to work, and the repeat, is it going to be too big? Is it going to be too big for scale? And how should we put the trim? Should we put the trim here? Should we? And then we really have a full blown conversation and go into all the little details of trim placement, rod placement, what type of rod, French return, acrylic, is it going under the crown? Are we putting a woven wood underneath? What kind of cool, how can we make it cool? Should we add 2 layers of trim instead of 1 layer of trim? So it's all those details that we really just get into it on the initial consultation and measure, because she's already thought about it. She's been like, dreaming up of these really pretty and cool designs. And this particular project, we used a Tebow fabric. Dana is not afraid to use pattern at all
I can
whatsoever.
tell.
I love it. I mean, this was a pattern that I saw that I was like, I don't know. And because like a lot of times that happens, and Luann can even testify to that too. Like a lot of times designers would show us something, we're like, really?
Hmm.
I just like,
Really?
and it was one that it was a fabric that we actually had for the showroom showdown when WindowWorks was redoing our showroom back in 2019. We had a competition to help us design our window treatments because we thought, well, we know so many fabulous designers. Let's have them flex their creative muscles and help us figure this out. So I remember even seeing that there and being like, I don't know. And Dana was like, I think I'm going to use this in my home. And
Wow.
she was on your team. We were part of the winning team. And you guys
Mhm,
picked that really pretty floral print that we have
mhm.
in the showroom. We just added panels to it yesterday. And even yesterday
Nice.
when we were adjusting the fabric, I thought, I really like this fabric. And it wasn't something that I would never have picked.
Yeah,
Like we would have never picked that floral print and really thought out
yeah,
of the box. And that's what I
yeah.
love about Dana's design aesthetic is that she will think out of the box and pick, these very bright and in your face prints and use them well and smart. The design ends up looking very smart and very put together, and you can tell that she thinks about every single detail. I mean, I don't know of any designer that's ever come to me already fully prepared with every single fabric, every single trim
Mhm.
figured out for each space.
And you know what else this tells me, Kim? In addition to her being so creative and thinking outside the box and everything that you mentioned, but what it tells me is that she appreciates your input and she
Mm-hmm.
also really respects you as one of her trade partners and she treats you as a partner, not
Mm-hmm.
as someone who just executes her vision. You know,
Right.
which and we here in our portfolio here, we have some designers who like they just want us to do what they want. And you know what? I'm okay doing that too, but I also know that my relationship with designers is so much richer if we approach a project as a partnership, which is what she it seems
Yeah.
like what she's doing.
And she'll ask my opinion too. Like she'll say, I don't know, do we like this? Do we think it's going to work? And then I'm just like, no, it's going to be fabulous. And then what we'll talk. And then if she's unsure of like, I don't know, do I want to do a trim? Yes, you want to do a trim, Dana. The answer is always yes. So what if we do it like this? And then she'll even go down where things that I've wanted to try. And I'm like, what if we did something cool like this? She'll be like, okay, let's do it.
Hmm.
And she just trusts the vision and we really
Nice.
just bring it to life. So I can't wait to feature this other project that we've been working on for the past year. There's some really cool design elements that we've added to window treatments.
Can't
So it's been
wait.
really
Can't
fun.
wait.
So kudos to
Nicely
Dina.
done. Kudos. Kudos. All right. And so my final designer is Rose Zeffirino of Z Domus Design. We do a lot of projects for Rose. I
I was
think I've
about to
mentioned her
say,
a
I
million
know the
times
name.
here.
It's
Exactly.
nice to put
Exactly.
a face to the name.
Yep, Rose is amazing. I have so much respect and admiration for this woman. It is just it's just beyond. It starts with the fact that she is super smart. She went to Cornell University for her undergrad. And then ultimately she went to New York University for her graduate degree. So that's number one. Number two is both of her degrees were in nothing less than project management and building construction. And she was the first and only female project manager for a very prominent builder here in the Philadelphia area for a long time. So those like three facts alone, they just like blow my mind right there to be that smart and that confident to work in a let's just face it, a man's world takes real determination and takes real guts.
Hmm.
And then another reason why I really respect and admire her is I think about 15 years ago, about the time when I started my business, Rose also decided to start her own business. So she left the builder that she was working for to start her own design firm that she called Z Domus Design. And when I first met her, she was doing her own showroom of I want to say like maybe 2,000 square feet, maybe more. She'll probably correct me. But I remember thinking at that point I was working out of my house. It was
Mhm.
actually before I moved out and had my own showroom. But back then, when she was doing it, I just looked at her and I'm like, oh my God, how is this girl able to, forget about the fact how do you afford something like this, but the mindset issues, the confidence,
Yeah.
the going through all of the baggage and potential insecurities, the fears of going out and doing something like that, not just even. I mean, yes, opening something off-site, not in your house, which of course is what Window Works is,
Mhm.
but for her, kind of like a lone, a solo proprietor, opening and really constructing, outfitting this entire showroom. And what her showroom specialized in is selections for custom builders in our area.
Wow.
So when she was outfitting the showroom, we're not talking just window treatments and some sample books. I mean, we're talking she's putting in a full kitchen. She's putting in bathtubs. She's putting in tile. She's
Oh,
putting in,
Lord.
wainscoting. She's putting in I mean, everything that goes into building a house. That's what she has outfitted her showroom with, so that custom builders can send their customers to her showroom to make selections.
Yep. Smart.
I mean, incredibly smart, incredibly brave. I mean, she's beautiful to boot. So, I mean, Rose is just, I mean, we've been kind of masterminding, not, well, informally, we'll call it masterminding all the time. We oftentimes, like, our journeys are kind of parallel in the fact of like, shortly after, I saw what she was doing and, kind of putting everything that I had on my plate, that's kind of about the time that I moved out of my home and started my showroom. And then we started hiring people at around the same time. So our business journeys kind of have been on this sort of parallel track for a long time. And but what we do for Rose is model
Mm.
home merchandising. Well, she does
Nice.
the merchandising, we do the window treatments.
Yes.
And this was one of her biggest clients is Rockwell Builder, who is the
Mhm.
custom as well as the track builder here in the Philadelphia area. They build kind of all over the place, south of Philly, north of Philly, a little bit in New Jersey. They're quite incredible in the breadth of their projects. And this particular one was all the way down in Delaware, two-story window treatments. And another thing that I really like and respect and enjoy about working with Rose is oftentimes she really kind of lets us sort of run with our ideas, and she really trusts in the process, and she trusts in what we say will happen, or how it will look.
Right.
So, to do something like this, it's a little bit hard to tell in the picture, but you can tell that the contrast of color is there, right? There's a neutral color in the top blocking, and then we have like a teal color in the middle, and then we have a really high pattern on the bottom. So to look at a picture of a naked window, and then to look at a whole bunch of swatches and ultimately pick three, and to trust us to go with three-part blocking with that kind of combinations. I mean, that takes a lot of trust and a lot of faith in your window treatment partner. So I am just incredibly grateful that I have a designer like that in Rose, who listens to us, who goes with what we recommend, who trusts and has faith in what we do. And all of our projects have been such an incredible collaboration of effort and design and skill and expertise experience. It's been just an amazing pleasure to work with her all around.
Now, I have a question. Is this the room that's featured on the cover of your lookbook?
Not quite, but it's a
Ah,
really,
it
really
looks
good
like it.
guess. Yes, we actually did the lookbook and the cover of the Vision magazine. That was our first. That was the first. That project came first,
Okay, because
and
it
then
looks.
this project was kind of inspired by what we did there.
Got it. Got it. I was like,
Exactly.
I'm like, this kind of looks like that room. So,
It's very
and
similar. Yes.
another important thing to note too, when we're color blocking, is picking the different weights of the fabric. And I know, you know, having was the fabric on the bottom. It looks like, is it just a like a cotton print? Was it an embroidery? How is it weight wise compared to the other
To the rest of them.
two
Mhm.
fabrics above it?
Yeah, super, super important, and especially important when you do two-story draperies
Right.
because the weight of those drapes, you guys, I mean, one day I should weigh them. I mean, minimum, I'm thinking 20, 30 pounds, maybe more,
If not more.
depending what lining you use.
Yeah.
But so in this particular case, all three fabrics were about the same weight.
Okay.
Thank God. Because if they're not, I mean, you're asking for a lot of potential problems.
And it's a lot of support that you need on the hardware and whatnot. We had a two-story project that Carlos asked me, he's like, "Are we sure the hardware is going to be able to hold this up?" I said, "Yes, we are fine. It will work. I ordered enough brackets."
And interestingly, in this particular case, this hardware was French returns.
Ah,
And with
okay.
French returns, you do not have the flexibility
Oh,
to make sure that those brackets are drilled into studs.
yeah.
Those French returns, I mean, they're stationary. It's
It's
not like any other bracket that you can put
no,
anywhere, find the stud, and support the rod. French returns go where they go.
it
If the
is
rod
what it
is
is.
45 inches,
Yeah,
it's 45 inches. So if
yeah,
there's no stud there, you're out of luck.
yeah.
So yeah, this was challenging. Every install has their challenges, right, Kim?
Yes, and that's why we talk about it here on WTF Live.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. All right, so you guys, I wanted to tell you something super special that Luann is actually doing. I wanted to include this slide, not something that we usually include here, but I wanted the world to know. This is for all the window treatment pros and any designer who wants to really step up her game or his in the window treatment world. Exciting Windows is an organization that is a mastermind for all companies that do their business in window treatments and related projects. So, if you want to build a better business, more efficient, more productive, and most importantly, more profitable, this is the organization that kind of brings together the smartest people in the industry. Think of it as a think tank where you go to get education, to get inspiration, to network, to talk to people that may be further down the line of a
Mhm.
business continuum and from whom you can teach, where you can share your own experience and maybe share a win or something great that you're doing and help someone else, but mostly where you can really build a better and profitable business for yourself. So that's what Exciting Windows is. But what this particular conference is it's called CEO Conference, where Luann and Vin and Steve Burston
Person.
and
Mhm.
Steve Wishnow, who are the two Steves are the founding partners, and of course Luann and Vinny and Billy have recently purchased or joined the business.
Mhm.
Um, they put together this annual conference they call CEO Conference for the leaders of those window treatment businesses, where exactly all that exchange and inspiration and education where it happens in person and during the 3 days. So it's kind of like think of masterminding and think tanking and put it on steroids and put it like in this closed door capsule and and there goes the chemical reaction of everything happening, everything jiving, everything learning, and everybody really essentially getting the better tools to build a better business.
Yes, it's
So,
going to be a very fun conference. I will be attending, and
oh, awesome.
you are actually going to be teaching, right?
Yes, I'm
Or
lucky and
presenting.
privileged and humbled to have been asked by Luann to present, and I
Hmm.
will be telling everyone there about our paperless project management system. So
Yes,
I'm super excited about that.
very
So
good.
come join us October 5th, 6th, and 5th and 6th
Hmm.
for the first 2 days of the conference.
Very nice. Okay, and before we let you all go, we have a couple of freebies that we want to let you know. If you are new to the window treatment game, Luann wrote an ebook a couple years ago. Architectural Digest isn't coming 10 things to know about custom window treatments. It's really a window treatment 101. So if you want to get the basic knowledge on window treatments, head on over to the WindowWorks website and request your free copy today.
Hmm. And from Vitalia Inc., we also have a free gift for you. This is a free
Ah, nice.
lookbook that Kim was um, alluding to earlier. It is filled with inspiration and some education. There's experts from the presentations that I've done to various trade organizations, but mostly it's filled with pictures and eye candy with notes. So it's all curated by me, telling you exactly what to pay attention to and what's important. But the most important thing, that you can use these ideas on any of the project. You can still swipe and make them your own on anything that you guys do, and you can grab that at my website, which is vitaliainc.com.
Perfect. And to keep up with all things Miss Luann, because clearly she has a lot going on. She is a hashtag busy lady. And if you want to check out the courses that Vita and I discuss on Luann University, head on over to Luann's website, luannigarrett.com, where you can catch all the audio version of Window Treatment Friday, where this whole live originated from. You guys had an episode last week, correct?
Luann dropped an episode
Episode
last
last week,
Friday.
yeah.
Yep. It was all about how to automate your estimates and how to then use that automation to create your production orders and your purchase orders. And it was all under the umbrella of entering your information only once and leveraging that detailed effort then to trickle down to everything else that you do down the line. So it's just a
So
super great episode.
definitely check it out. Maybe I'll listen to it on my way up to Boston. We'll see.
Oh, there you go. I think you'll like it.
Yes. All right. And if you are in the New Jersey and New York area and you have a window treatment project or an awning project, please give us a call. We would love to help you out. Window Works, we are a concierge service. We help you with all the nitty details in terms of where to place those rods, what kind of rod to use. Can we use a curved rod? And with awnings, you know, what the best awning is for your space, be it home or a commercial space. So please follow us at WindowWorks on Instagram and Facebook, or you can always send us an email or give us a call.
Wonderful. And if you guys are an interior designer listening to us now who is in the Philadelphia area, please give us a call if you're looking for support with your window treatment project. We are a one-stop shop. We are a white glove service, your go-to resource for all things window treatments and related projects. We service luxury interior designers, and we take care of them and their window treatment projects from beginning to the very end, so that they don't have to have any of the headaches, any of the problems, because we take it all and put it onto our plate. So DM, PM, call, or email us, please.
Yes, and thank you so much for joining us. I actually pulled up the schedule, and if you are interested, next week's episode, we
Oh,
are
good
going
for
to
you.
be, yes, because I figured, you know what, why not? I had this epiphany last night. So next week's episode, we are going to be talking about where to mount shades. So if you have any questions for us and you have just something, you know, strange, or you're just like, where can I put this kind of product, inside mount, outside mount, let us know. DM us, PM us, send us an email. But that is a topic that we are going to be covering next Friday at 9 o'clock.
Awesome. So you guys, thank you for joining us today. Join us every Friday at 9 a.m. Eastern for Window Treatment Friday Live, or how we lovingly refer to WTF Live episode. Every Friday, Kim and I talk and geek out on all things window treatments.
All right. Have a great weekend, everyone. And we will see you next week.
Thanks, Gina. And thanks, Luann, for joining us on Facebook.
Yes.
And Sharon.
Yes. Bye,
Bye-bye, guys.
everyone.